all can relate to. But before I get into that, I'm going to start with a little humorous photography joke. Guy works for a newspaper. They send him to take some photos of a wildfire. Gets there, it's a little too foggy, can't get any good shots, so he calls the editor and says, I need a plane. So the editor's like, all right, I have a plane, you know, go there. He goes to the airport, there's a plane running, he gets on it, he tells the pilot, go, go, go. So they zoom off in the air. Once they're there, he's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to get to the left for a little bit, I'll get a few shots there. You should get to the right, and the pilot's like, why would I do that? He's like, because I'm a photographer, I need to get some shots. Pilot kind of waits and he goes, so I guess you're not the instructor. Yeah, I know, it's a little silly, but I just thought I'd get a little chuckle. But back to what I'm really here to talk about. Starting with the history of photography. For me, understanding photography, it's good to know its history. According to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary in 2010, the definition is the art of radiant energy, especially light on a sensitive surface. That's a technical one, but for me, photography is more than that. It's the ability to freeze a moment in time and have it forever. And then upon reading Jane Campbell's book, Film and Cinema, Spectatorship, Melodrama, and Mimesis, we see that there's not one inventor of photography. It was people like Aristotle and Leonardo da Vinci and many people that came to the conclusion that when light passes through a small hole in a darkened interior, an inverted image appears on the wall opposite the hole. It's actually a simple concept when you think about it, and over the years it started to evolve. Then in the 16th century we started seeing people add lenses and grow on that. But one prominent man who is seen as, I guess, the main inventor would be Joseph Niepce, who's a French chemist, and he's originated the process, and he created the first photo, which is called the heliograph. As we see, it's pretty simple, it's nothing fancy, but from here we go to present day where photography has just evolved. We can take digital photos, we can put them straight on our computers, and these are just some cameras, and this is one from the 80s, and this is one from now, and today we even have the best technology we've ever seen. But you may be wondering, okay, how does this apply to me? It applies to all of us, because everywhere you look there's photos. On billboards, on magazines, in textbooks. It is an important visual aid that we use all the time, and sometimes we take for granted. Upon reading George Baker's article, Photography Expanded Field, written on September 23, 2000, he said, everywhere one looks today in the world of contemporary art, the photographic image seems to be everywhere. Photography is relevant and is part of all of our lives. Now, since it's relevant, and since we kind of know the history, you're wondering, well, okay, what are some tips and tricks on taking a better photo? Because I'm pretty sure we've all seen photos on Facebook of us and we don't like them and we untag ourselves because they don't look good or the lighting's bad. And there's a few simple things that you can do to take a better photo. The first thing I say is know your camera. Many times we buy a camera and we don't look at the manual and we kind of mess around with the buttons. If you know your camera, you'll most likely be able to know what those settings mean, what those little pictures mean, and you can take a better photo that way. The second I'd say is lighting. A lot of times we don't think about lighting. Great times to take photos are during sunrise and sunset. The lighting is very flattering to people. The next one I'd say is play up your angles. A lot of times you just see people straight up in the center of a photo. Look at threes. Center your person to the right, to the left. There's a lot of little tips. If you're taking a picture of a child, get down to their level. Really look at their eyes, and you'll see your friends will be raving about your photos. The third one I'd say is simple is better. Don't clutter your stuff with all these fancy things. Sometimes just a plain brick wall will make the photo look really nice. And then I want to conclude by saying Ansel Adams, he quoted this statement. He is one of the pioneers in landscape photography, and he said, sometimes I do get to a place just when God is ready to have someone click the shutter. And for me, I enjoy photography because I can take pictures of God's creations, whether it's human or nature, and I think it's a gift that we have. And just know that anyone can take a photo, whether you're 5 or you're 58. I have a little brother who's 5, and he takes some amazing shots. I'm just like, wow. So I hope you guys got something out of this, and thank you for listening.